Hello and welcome to today's video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we're going to be doing technical analysis on Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So let's get right into this. Alright, so let's start with Bitcoin here and kind of talk a little bit about it first. Because Bitcoin, everybody's panicking, they're all scared of it, and Bitcoin Cash came and had a pump, and then that made everybody think that there's going to be a flippening that will destroy Bitcoin, and all this FUD is coming out. And I just want to make some things clear and my statement and my stance on Bitcoin currently. First off, either way, it's okay because the way that we'll play this market saves us from both scenarios. Even if this was the top of Bitcoin, we would be okay. But I do not see this as the top of Bitcoin. So we'll kind of talk about this, and I'll talk about my views over it, and then we'll get into the Bitcoin Cash and kind of review its TA. So on the 30-minute candlesticks, the smaller time frames for Bitcoin, we had a major sell-off out from the $8,000 mark down to about 5,600. From where we have made a nice double bottom formation. This wick really came down to about 53.94, and we've continued to see upside movement. Now, this looks like a mini ascending triangle formation in Bitcoin currently, so I do expect this to break and the prices to rally up near previous highs between 74 and 7,600 per coin. And then we will be placing our stop losses just below that range, between the $65,000 to $7,000 range on Bitcoin. So even if Bitcoin was to do this, I'll just draw this other scenario. If Bitcoin did go bearish here, we would still bounce up to here and get stopped out, meaning our order would automatically sell if it broke below this range. So we would still be nailing the top on Bitcoin, or pretty close to the top, even if this wasn't continuation on the upside. But this is the way that I see this market playing out. I think that we'll have something like this occur, where we have a nice breakout on the upside, just like this. We'll hit previous highs. People will panic a little bit at previous highs. We'll fall back down to about 74, like this. Kind of cup and handle a little bit, and moonshot up to the previous targets of 10,000. And I even posted on my TradingView of how this thing could extend on an extended fifth wave to 13K. Now, you have to use a trailing stop loss, meaning your stop loss gets rows with the prices. So every single time the prices go up, you bring your stop loss up with it. That way you can catch the whole move, even if Bitcoin goes higher than people are expecting. But I for sure think that we'll go up to that $10,000 mark still and rally in Bitcoin. This is just panic. This isn't panic that I initially expected, but I did get stopped out on some shorter BitMEX positions, shorter time frame BitMEX positions near the top with some nice profits because I had been accumulating all along these lows here on Bitcoin. So I got stopped out near the top with some nice profits, and I've been accumulating near the bottoms here on Bitcoin, and we are expecting upside continuation. So now let's go into the bigger picture and kind of what has happened. If you look on the 1 week candlestick, something to be mindful of, and the main reason that people are panicking is because we have a bearish engulfing candlestick on the 1 week candles. This is where the bearish players engulfed the bulls and closed engulfing the bulls. Now, generally, this is a bearish signal. Now, with something like Bitcoin, which is the strongest trend in all of cryptocurrency, and it's literally just about to make its parabolic move on the upside and its extended fifth wave, this is easily a false breakdown of its trend line and panic. I personally think this will get completely engulfed by bullish players, in which case we'll come back down to here and see upside continuation, like so. Like I said, we'll be using that stop loss, so either way we come out winning in this situation. We won't lose either way in Bitcoin. So that's kind of my thoughts on the whole matter. Everybody's been freaking out. There's no need to panic. There wasn't any major dumping. Usually at the top of a market, a whale will dump their coins all the way back down to these low retracements. So I don't see any topping structure in a market. But obviously it is possible that it goes back up and double tops. So you have to have both scenarios in mind. Like the previous rally in Bitcoin where we came up and we rejected, we had a bearish engulfing candlestick up here at the top, and then we rallied up to previous all-time highs or pretty close to them, and then continued on the downside. But because we'll be setting our stop loss around here, if it does go down, we'll be all right. That's kind of my thoughts. I think it was panic before the bigger rally, but of course it could go down from here. I'm not going to try to call a top on Bitcoin. That's very foolish. This is the strongest trend in cryptocurrency, and it accounts for 50% of all of the money in cryptocurrency, which, by the way, is just around $100 billion of market capitalization, since we have broken the $200 billion mark. The market cap still looks like it needs more growth on the upside in its fifth wave as well. So as far as cryptocurrency growth goes, we are not done yet. This is not the top. Ethereum Classic is moving nicely. Posted some updates on that on my TradingView. But let's kind of talk about the correlations between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and how I kind of see the pairs together. First of all, let's look at the correlations of the prices. So let's go into the 1 hour time frames. Remove all drawing tools. And then I'm just going to click compare up here in the top left and type in BCC or Bitcoin Cash, and we'll pull up the Bitcoin Cash Bittrex dollar chart in correlation to the Bitcoin graph here. All right. Now let's take this and make it a line with type close high. There we go. Perfect. All right, so as you can see, they are very correlated. As soon as Bitcoin Cash came in, it did start to eat a lot of Bitcoin's market value and buying power in these areas as it started to play those Elliots. And then sure enough, right as Bitcoin Cash was at its top, of course, people were doing a really dumb thing and selling all of their Bitcoin at the bottom of Bitcoin for the top of Bitcoin Cash. Now, that's unfortunate. This is why you don't FOMO into stuff. You don't buy the top of markets. You aim to buy when it's accumulating up in these little bull flags like this. So they are correlated, and it does affect Bitcoin negatively when Bitcoin Cash goes up, or it seems to have that correlation currently. Now, Bitcoin is bullish right now, and Bitcoin Cash is actually bearish. So let's do the technical analysis on Bitcoin Cash, and then we'll kind of talk about the potential correlations in the future and kind of my thoughts on them. So BCC. Now let's pull up the Bitcoin Cash Tether Bittrex chart. All right, so these are on the 1 hour candlesticks. This is very parabolic movement, you guys. We had basically from where I posted in entries in the VIP lounge. So from where we posted the entry in the VIP, this coin saw 353% gains. I sold a little bit early because I had to go travel, but and I couldn't sit here and watch the extended fifth wave to trail my stop loss. But very nice run here. So congrats to everybody that caught that move. But we did have a full market cycle play out, and when stuff goes that parabolic, it has to fully retrace. So Bitcoin Cash is in a bull trap right now, meaning that anybody that starts to buy here will get eaten by the bearish movement on the downside that it still needs to do. So this is an ABC correction. I advise not to buy Bitcoin Cash until we go below 1,000 and possibly to the $800 levels on Bitcoin Cash. So it does seem to have some significant bearish movement here. and then I would suspect that it consolidates for a while. This coin pumped very quickly, you guys, so we have to see a lot of buying power come back in down to the $800 levels to see a bullish market cycle continue on the upside. But right now this is a bearish chart. It reminds me exactly of Gorously, so let's go ahead and look at that. Gorously Bitcoin. It's exactly the same market cycle pattern that we're having, where it goes very, very parabolic here. There's these little bull flags, the 1, 2, and then it has this huge 5 wave, and then you have an ABC correction that continues seeing downside movement for a very long period of time. Gorously still needs to retrace even lower. It's got the Ichimoku cloud as resistance. So let's go back to BCC and look at that and how they kind of compare. Bitcoin Cash Tether. Do you see those bull flags, huge 5th wave, and then the ABC correction that comes afterwards? So that's why we're not touching Bitcoin Cash until it gets into these lower zones, because it's just not time. The risk to reward isn't good. It's just not time to start accumulating Bitcoin Cash yet. And it is bearish. So the kind of what I see happening between the two, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, is it will be similar to the correlation of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. There's times where Ethereum Classic negatively affects the prices of Ethereum, but generally they go up together, because when cryptocurrency is in a bullish market, most of the coins go up together. They actually follow each other up a lot of times. So it is correlation that we're seeing, and right now it's negatively correlated. But I personally think that they can both go up together, obviously, because if the money is leaving the dollar and going into the cryptocurrency, then they will go up together. But for now, they are kind of battling each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how things really play out once we start to get into the buy zone for Bitcoin Cash. But for now, I'm still bullish on all of my targets for Bitcoin. I personally think that it was a panic sell-off, but I'm prepared for both scenarios in case something were to happen. And I'm watching this Bitcoin Cash very carefully. But Bitcoin is king still. It does have the most buying power, has the strongest trend. It accounts for the most market capitalization. So there would have to be some very serious things happen to make Bitcoin Cash take that place of Bitcoin. I don't think that is going to happen for a long time yet. It may happen in the future down the road. I don't think so. I don't see that as a likely scenario. But for now, the trend is stronger in Bitcoin. The volume is stronger in Bitcoin. The buying power is stronger in Bitcoin. And overall, I'm more bullish on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin Cash is also in the correcting phase of its market cycle. So it will be interesting to see how everything plays out, like I said. But for now, that's how I see all of this. So I hope this helps some people out. Don't get caught in this Bitcoin Cash bull trap. Wait until it goes lower before you start accumulating if you're trying to trade this. It's one that I'm not exactly looking to trade for now. It just has a lot of pump and dumping movement. So unless we see like a huge bullish engulfing candlestick come down in at like $800 or somewhere around here, and then a huge volume spike where it's seen more volume than it ever has. If that does happen, then I'll be very bullish on Bitcoin Cash. But right now it just moved very, very quickly, too fast, and it needs to retrace lower. So that's my thoughts on the entire subject, and we will switch to the other shots. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments box below. If you like these shirts, go ahead and check out hodlmonkey.com. Links in the description, and you can use the coupon code STAYPROFITABLE to get 5% off on these. I really like them. They've got tons of different designs, and I just wanted to give a quick plug for them in this video. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay profitable.